So let's look at a model of therapy. How do we put this all together? How do we sit down with our client in the beginning stages, find out what they're interested in, what their changes there are that they desire, where they want to be going, and put together a therapy process in order to assist for those changes to take place? What should an interview and therapy session really look like? And so let's look at a model of therapy, the therapy train. So the train symbolizes the relaxation, the opening up to the unconscious mind, the mindfulness process, remembering that all change is about changing the order and the sequence of our thoughts. The train symbolizes the first step of the therapy. The first step is to train your mind to have that integration, to enter into that mindfulness place where we're both internal and external. It's the process of opening the doorway to the unconscious mind. It's those relaxation techniques, that those inductions that we use. It's that pacing and leading. We help to move the client into that inner space, cutting out the outer world. Throughout the whole process, whether it is in the interview, before the therapy, whether it is in the process of the therapy and or the induction, suggestion is very important. Remembering that ordering and sequencing our thoughts is the key to change. And so we want to influence the thoughts that our client has that will lead them towards their outcome, towards their goals. So we want to speak to the unconscious mind. We want to use our hypnotic language patterns and our intonation patterns. We want to use the presuppositions and the challenging the meta model to help to suggest, to create the environment inside for the changes to be present. We also want to do restructuring. So this is the integration between the cognitive and the unconscious process, between the left brain and the right brain, between the conscious and the unconscious. We want to release those negative emotions and limiting decisions. We want those things to disappear so that the energy in the body shifts, remembering that it is the emotion that is the glue that holds together those other negative experiences, and that is one of the greatest gifts of hypnotherapy and mindfulness processes, accelerated emotional release therapy, etc., is that we create that possibility, we create the environment for the emotion to dissolve, for it to become neutralized. And so releasing the negative emotions is the beginning part of that restructuring. And then we use our cognitive processes. We use reframing. We challenge the meta model. We do untwisting your thinking and working with the unhelpful thinking styles. Those are all processes for restructuring the thinking process to change that which is happening within the conscious mind. And then there's the integration, returning the client to the outer world, coming back from that inner experience in trance to the outer world, integrating the changes into life outside. So remembering that the whole purpose of therapy is not to create the changes in the therapy office, but to have those changes transmitted and integrated into the outer world. And so that's the integration piece, bringing that into the outer world. This includes future pacing. It's meeting their convincer. It's giving homework and reminding them of the 3 conditions that are necessary for change. Doing the healing, which we've done in the previous parts, from the train through to the caboose, And then that the client needs to be willing to take action. They need to take action, to be different, to do something different in the world. And so that's to act out in a different way, to interact in a different way. And so our homework sometimes is very helpful in helping the client to step into that new way of being, meeting with the partner and talking about certain things, or throwing away the cigarettes, or telling somebody else about the changes that they're making. Whatever, something that presupposes the success of the therapy. And the third thing is for the client to think it the way they want it. Think it the way they want it. And so that restructuring those cognitive processes, the unhelpful thinking styles, untwisting your thinking, those kinds of processes help to integrate the change. And so we want to integrate the changes that our client is making. So we also want to meet their condenser. So in the office, we want them to experience the world differently in their mind, to go out and project themselves out into the future and experience the world differently. And so this process of the transformation train is a process that takes place all over in the therapy session.